Please, no hurt. Me like elites. Brute, stinky, bad.
Unggoy, the scientific term for the species of grunts, are the most looked down upon species in Halo in every way, and they're even called grunts, not just by the Covenant, but also us fans, true underdogs. But what if they're actually much more intelligent than not only us, the player, but also humans and other alien species realize? Could one of these bastards lead another Covenant, or are they just stupid pawns for cannon fodder and plays on comic relief? Well, today we're going to be tackling the biggest question of all. Are you smarter than a grunt? Hold on tight, I may have an answer for you.
Me stay here, make sure no brutes come behind, mighty arbiter.
So let me ask you a question. How many of these little guys do you think you've killed in your time with Halo? It's probably a very huge number by now. But after watching our video about the Grunt's heartbreaking past, you'll probably see and admit how fucked up it is to kill Grunts at all in Halo, considering they didn't want to be in the Covenant in the first place. And I'm not saying that the Grunts are innocent, but it's kinda hella sad when their cries for help ring through all of their species, not just when they see the Demon Master Chief. Being the lowest species on the Covenant totem pole made the Grunts have a hard time with showing any kind of cultural identity. Although their identity as a whole was damaged, the Unggoy took pride in their heritage and society, managing to save that special part of what made Unggoy, well, Unggoy. Although not much is left, and this leads us to the million-dollar question, are you smarter than a grunt? Well, first we must find out, are grunts actually stupid?
So your claim to fame is that you are the only Covenant soldier to survive every battle with the Master Chief.
Yes, correct.
And you say this is because you are, quote, smarter, stronger, and faster than the Master Chief?
Now, anyone that's played a Halo game, probably their first conception of grunts were soulless cowards with no wits about them, that they were stupid and worthless creatures. Now, I can understand that perception, because there's never been a Halo game that had a grunt with any real challenge to them, unless you're playing on Legendary or ran into a suicide grunt. Nonetheless, there has never been a grunt that's actually stood out in the story.
Even now, they use our Lord's creations to broadcast their lives.
We shall grind them into dust.
So, are grunts actually stupid, or have we greatly misinterpreted their behaviors and attitudes? Well, let's start off with one of their favorite things to do, and that is putting a special drug in their methane tanks called infusions that would totally get them blitzed beyond belief. Yes, the grunts are hardcore stoners, believe it or not. But hey, when you get your ass kicked all day, you gotta have something to help you through it, right? But the grunts getting high on infusions certainly didn't hurt the grunts' intelligence, even though it may sure look like that. If anything, it may have helped the Unggoy with the next trait that is actually quite astonishing. Unggoy possess an almost unrivaled ability to learn things on the fly, literally absorbing almost all new information they come across in a record-breaking time. Many were known to have learned multiple languages from humans and other members of the Covenant at lightning speeds. And this is exactly the reason why the Covenant would have Unggoy listen into human transmissions during the Human Covenant War, as they of course would be the best at deciphering what the foreign communications were actually meaning. And this is one of the many gifts that the grunts have that have gone unnoticed, but quickly learning a new language, absorbing but also understanding new information is a great sign of intelligence and a high IQ, much higher than a Halo player may expect that a grunt has from just playing the Halo games.
Hey, let's stick our heads out. Why is he chasing me? I will miss you. Let me install. Jerks, you, all of ya.
Let them come.
But that's you hiding, isn't it?
That's not me.
I'm pretty sure it is. How about here?
Looks nothing like me.
In the perspective of the Prophets and the Covenant, the Unggoy were the lowest members of the Armada, and they were treated as such, and this is partly why the Covenant took advantage of the Grunts' ability to have giant breeding parties where multiple Unggoy would meet up to, well, fuck like rabbits. And boy did they. The Unggoys were able to reproduce faster than many species in the galaxy, and while it was a pleasure for the Grunts, it was nothing more than a means to fuel the Covenant armies and fuel the Human Covenant War. So as soon as these new Unggoy were able to stand and walk, the offspring would be strapped up and harnessed for war. Crazy cruel, but there was no time for proper education or even training with these offspring, and this is why you see Grunts acting like not much more than children sometimes on the battlefield, because they basically are children. Feeling even worse about killing Grunts yet? Only a select few would ever be able to embrace the hidden smarts that the Grunts as a whole did have, which is a bit heartbreaking if you think about it. In short, the Covenant was responsible for the majority of the mental shortcomings that we see with the Grunts during the Halo timeline, including intelligence. But let's get back to a time before the Covenant, before the Unggoy were a part of the Covenant. What were the Unggoy like before the Great Journey? Well, the Unggoy, at a time, were a Tier 6 culture, meaning that they could manufacture goods and food with relative ease. Consider Tier 6 something comparable to the industrial age here, between the 1800s all the way up to the mid-1900s in America. They didn't depend on the Covenant for these things. This is way before the Covenant. The Unggoy made it themselves, proving that the Unggoy as a species were growing greatly in intelligence and technology. They had the smarts and they had the ability to comprehend advanced technical issues. But what happened to this Tier 6 level of technology? Weren't the Grunts nothing more than glorified nomads before joining, or should we say forced into the Covenant? An unfortunate ecological collapse due to pollution from the Grunts' industrial era, cue climate change, in the Grunt homeworld of Balaho, forced the Grunts into a horrible decline that brought them all the way back to the primitive culture of small villages with vast amounts of hunger and death. And this is how the Unggoy stayed for tens of thousands of years, until the Covenant stumbled upon them. Basically, the Unggoy were a native species on a planet, was intelligent until their own planetary climate changed. They in turn collapsed, taken by an insane empire, then threatened and committed genocide upon them, forcing them into armies. And even though the Unggoy are very capable of learning and understanding stuff, they were forced to mass produce, so their unlearned and generally untrained offspring, children, could run into war as cannon fodder. So yeah. So are you smarter than a Grunt? Well, the answer is probably yes. Personally, I estimate Grunts that we see in the Covenant in the Halo games have the intelligence anywhere from a 6-year-old, maybe younger, to a 13-year-old. The Grunts certainly aren't stupid by nature, but due to unfavorable conditions within the Covenant, their species has overall dropped to a rather low level of IQ and intelligence on average. If not for the disasters, the Unggoy would have surely advanced in technology and would have become respected icons of the galaxy and lore if they were so lucky. But who are we kidding? Grunts are fun as hell to kill, and most Grunts we've killed have probably just been stupid offspring degenerates that were high when we killed them, spawned from military forced orgies in the Covenant. So if anything, we did them a favor. So what do you guys think about all this, and are you smarter than a Grunt? Let me know down in the comments below, and guys, if you enjoyed this kind of video, then be sure to let us know down in the comments and drop this video a like and subscribe for plenty more content just like this video. Alright, we'll see you in the next one.